Okay, we're back. So one thing to remember, if you play the minor triad string shapes, you're just going to be playing root 3, 6 in those regular string shapes, which are diatonics, where you have 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. We're just going to be playing these selected, and if we just select that root 3, 6, if we just select that out of the string shapes, we're going to get the relative minor of the key of the major key. So that's going to be A minor for the key of C. For the key of A, it's going to be F sharp minor, right? Because F sharp minor is the relative minor in the key of A. Okay, go down. There's the half diminished seventh. There's the F sharp minor. Key of E, it would be C sharp minor. Okay, it's a little harder to get the half diminished. So in the key of C, the half diminished, it's only fair, would be B sharp, B seventh, half diminished, sorry, and it's A minor. So how do we get the D minor? How do we get the E minor? And how do we get the half diminished with the substitutions? Aha, that is another question. Okay, so let's look at how we would get the minors with the substitutions. So we have our little substitution chart here. Okay, so what it is let's look at the first box. It's got the writing on it, but the writing could be on these. And by the way, there's 5 different shapes involved here. Okay, there's D, there's C, there's E, there's A, there's G, and then there's the long pattern. Now the long pattern, you could do the same thing I've done. All I've done over here with these 3 is I've arranged it so according to the circles, you have this particular string shape on the bottom. In the longer pattern here, I have only put one instance of it with the C shape on the bottom. But you could just as easily start from any one of these shapes once you have this pattern. And then we go through the long one that has the AA detour. Okay? Watch out for that AA detour. It takes you into the long pattern, which is great. Here's 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's your long pattern AA detour. Now, to substitute, okay, in this particular case, what are we substituting here? We're trying to get, in this case, we're substituting the 4th to get the half diminished. So this isn't really a good substitution chart for minors. So let's find that, and then we'll come back to this for the half diminished. Okay, so we have to go back a few charts. This is 260, a couple of charts for the minor substitutions. Okay, so here's the majors. And by the way, the major substitutions also work too. Okay, so how does that work? Well, remember, this is a pattern. It's all P4 tuning. So it wouldn't make sense to draw a fret nut. If you wanted to draw a fret nut for the key of C, if we wanted to look at the key of C, the C box, here would be the C box or something like that. Okay, but we wouldn't want this part of it. And then if we were going to draw a fret nut from that point, it would have to be like, it would start here and then finish there. You see, so this is a pattern, and this is what it would look like. This is what a P4 pattern looks like with the fret nut. Okay, and also indeed we wouldn't have this part of it. This wouldn't be part of the pattern either. That would be gone. All right, so let's. Oh wow, we got a lot of stuff to look at. So I think we're over here. So it doesn't make sense to worry about where is the fret nut at this point. This is a P4 pattern. Okay. Now we can do the substitutions in the majors. They're easier. So look at this. If I go root 3 5 on the piano, I'm just going root 3 5. I can use that same finger motion for the F. Same finger motion for the G. I can use the same finger motion for the A minor because the piano is set up that way. But guitar isn't set up the same way piano is. So we have to find out what shapes can we use in the guitar and use those same shapes as substitutions in the guitar. So let's look at the C pattern here. It would be just simply the C string shape on the bottom. And if we want to go to the fourth of that C, E would become the third, right? E would become, now I'm going to take the capo off altogether, but the C, your fret nuts right here is your low C. Here's your A. Here's your D. Kind of thing, and on up. So the C pattern would be, let's say we want to do the C chord. So we would, now I want that capo, but you know what? I'm just going to do the C pentatonic. So it'd be, you can use the pentatonic to outline the cage well. It outlines it very well. It's just C string shape to G string shape, but 6 root. Now when we want to play the triads, we're just going to follow the white notes, okay? And so the C would be 3 5 root, then 3, then 5, then root. But on the fretboard it warps up 1, okay, and then 3 5 again. Now, if we want to play the fourth, you know, F is 4 6 root. So we go from root 3 5. It just happens to start on 3, so it'd be 3 5 root, and then the F is going to be 4 6 root. Okay, so instead of having to take it, you can do it this way. You can just, once you learn those string shapes, you can say, hey, okay, on top of C is going to be G 6 7 root. If F is 4 6 root, I'm just going to play 4 6 root. Read it right off. If that's the way you want to do it, it'll work that way. 4 6 root G string shape. Okay, now wait a minute. What was it again? Root 4 6. So it's 4 6 root 4 6. Okay, so here's 6 root. Now we go to the 4 again. Okay. D string shape is 2 3 4, right? Okay, the 4 is right there. All right, wait a minute. I'm getting confused. There's an easier way. The easier way is to play the root, do a substitution of the fourth. You substitute the fourth string shape of the C. And remember, in the circle, C goes where? C goes to E, because the fourth string shape's always underneath. And the fifth of the string shape's always above it. And the C, E is E's the fourth of C shape, and C is the fifth of E shape. So we would go to the E box over here and look at it, but starting from the E note here, okay, starting from the E note here, we're going to play the root pattern for the, so we're going to actually start on the F note here, because E would be the 7 at that point. We go root 3 5. Now we can use the same string shapes. E was root, so let's see if we can get them both on here. I'm going to show you right here. The E string shape for the major pattern was root, And here when we went up the ladder here, the E string shape